Hello, a very warm good evening. I hope I am audible enough. My voice is clear enough. If you can hear my voice, please write yes in the comment section. I can see a few people coming live. If any one of you can hear me properly and if you can see me properly and clearly, please write yes in the comment section. Good evening, everyone. Please to write yes in the comment section. Okay. All right. So I have received a few responses from a few of the students. So I think I am audible enough and clear enough to go ahead with today's session, that is a brief discussion on the strategy of sociology optional. Okay. So we will be talking in a great detailed manner in today's session about the entire sociology optional. So before that, I welcome each and every one of you to our YouTube channel, that is CSAP, Civil Services Achievers Point. And as you know that we are giving 5 sessions for completely free so that students can judge on their interest, on their affiliation to any particular subject, whatever they are having as of now, and if they are facing any problem in their present optional subject, how sociology can help them in order to crack this exam, whether it is UPSC or APSC. And not only that, we'll understand in great details what are the basic minimum things that are required to grab the conceptual clarity of sociology as an optional subject, to understand the technicalities of this subject in order to get a very good score, which will help you in getting a good rank in your exam. Because optional is very, very important in deciding whether you are cracking the exam or whether you are able to see your name in the final list with a good rank, obviously. I'll tell you, there is a strategy of 2E and 2O, okay, which will decide your rank in civil service exam. For example, the 2E belongs to one, that is your essay paper in mains, and the second E is the ethics paper, that is a GS4 in mains. Okay. Now, this 2 paper is also a very, very important deciding factor whether you are clearing the exam or whether you are getting a proper good rank or not. And the second important part of the means is a 2O, that is optional papers. All right. Now, this 4 papers actually decide your rank and whether you are clearing the exam or not. Why I tell you this is because the other GS papers, that is GS1, GS2, GS3, those papers, like whatever you study, how much you study for those papers, you cannot bring a good amount of margin, okay, as compared to other candidates, because the topper who will be getting like scores like 90 to 110 in GS2, even a person who will not crack this exam after writing mains, obviously, might even get 85 or 90, okay, with a very less number of margin of marks in those papers. Like maybe between the topper and a person who is not clearing the exam finally, they might just have a few number of marks in the form of margin, maybe of 5 to 10 marks. Okay, but why the person who gets a top rank is able to get a top rank is because of the difference of marks that they can produce in the papers like essay paper, ethics paper, and the 2 optional papers. Okay, there is only 1 optional subject as of now, both in UPSC as well as in APSC, but as you know that there are 2 papers for each subject. All right, so now how to produce this difference in the marks, okay, in order to secure a top rank, is there your optional will definitely play a very important deciding factor. So it is very, very important before you start with your optional preparation, it is very important to understand the subject and the technicalities of the subject in a very detailed manner. If you don't understand the subject in a detailed manner, even before you start your preparation, it is almost same like doing a gambling with in selecting your optional subjects. Because I have seen many students, okay, who have like changed their optional subjects number of times, and in the meanwhile what happens, they end up wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of effort along with energy. Okay, and even I have seen students who give attempts with, who writes means with some optional subjects, and later on in the next attempt they change their optional subjects. Okay, so this is a very difficult situation. It can be turn out to be a very dangerous situation for you, because ultimately you will end up wasting a lot of time. Okay, so we'll understand everything in great details, how sociology can help you in getting a good rank or a top rank. What are the minimum things that you need to understand sociology as an optional subject, why you need to select sociology as an optional subject, whether it is a scoring or a non-scoring subject. Okay, what is the trend of this of this optional subject, that is sociology, in the past many years. Then we can understand what is the syllabus of this subject. In today's session, we'll even understand what is the current pattern of questions that are being asked in this exam, in the mains, in the last 10 to 15 years of time period. We'll also understand from APSC's perspective how the change in syllabus will altogether play a different role in your preparation, like when you take sociology as an optional in cracking the exam. All right, then we can understand the different subtopics of the syllabus, how important it is for you to understand the syllabus, and last but not the least, how important that it is to follow the dynamic aspects of sociology. And through dynamic aspects, I mean the current affairs. I will even give you many examples, all right, through with the help of different past year questions, and why those questions came in those particular years, what was the news item which was available in newspapers like the Hindu, Times of India, Live Mint, and so on, and how to properly form the structure of an answer in order to get a very good marks. Now we'll also understand, along with this detailed manner of analysis of the sociology as an optional subject, we'll also understand the complete syllabus in a detailed manner. Along with that, we'll also try to understand the sources that are required to study this subject. Okay, because you know the sources are very important. And in the end, I'll be telling you that after the end of this 5 days of journey, okay, which will be free for everyone obviously, but if you want to continue after that, and why I'm giving this 5 days of journey of classes for free is because I want the students to be sure first that yes, this is the subject for you. Sociology should taken by you as an optional in UPSC as well as APSC, whatever exam, whichsoever exam you are giving, so that it helps you to understand the subject in a detailed manner, and you develop a minimum amount of confidence in you, which is all obviously required, so that you can move ahead with us, with Civil Service Achievers Point and me, because mostly I'll be taking the classes. Almost 90% of the classes will be taken by me, and I'll also tell you what are the things and what will be the way of teaching. Okay, how we will what are the sources we'll cover in this entire journey of at least 4 months I'll be taking to complete this syllabus as per the new pattern of APSC as well as the existing pattern of UPSC. So minimum time period that we'll be taking is around 4 months to complete this entire paper. All right, and we'll also understand that what is the right time to start your optional preparation. Okay, so I welcome all of you. Let us move ahead. I hope I'm audible enough and the screen and everything is clear enough, okay, for all of you to see. We will at least take a minimum time period of 1.5 hours to 2 hours in today's session. Okay, I want all of you to stay till the end because we'll be discussing the entire strategy in great details in a very depth manner, and I hope you will actually enjoy by the end of this session. And from tomorrow we'll be also starting to learn topics. Okay, we'll be directly going into the first topic, uh, like from the syllabus of sociology optional, but that will be tomorrow. Okay, we'll start learning from tomorrow, but today we'll understand the subject, we'll understand the pattern of the questions, we'll understand the syllabus, we'll understand the sources, we'll understand answer writing in great details. Okay, like what are the different, like how to make the answer multidimensional and a very dynamic approach that is very much essential for all of you, like to develop, okay, in order to make the answer more sociological, so that you can score more marks as compared to others. Because I have always heard about this from many of the students, that sociology is an optional where you don't get, which is not scoring as compared to other subjects, but that is completely wrong. Okay, last APSC results, we have almost 6 successful candidates, okay, out of 10, because there were 10 students in my last batch of sociology, and out of those 10 students who wrote mains in APSC, 6 of them have successfully cracked the APSC in last, like when the result was declared on 24th December 2020. Okay, and there I have experimented all the ways of writing answers, how to make your answer dynamic, at the same time how to also make your answer look conventional, especially for APSC. Okay, but for UPSC definitely you need to produce an answer of your own. Okay, that is very much like welcome in UPSC. Even in APSC also, as the pattern has changed and a new pattern has evolved, definitely the questions will also evolve with time. All right, and they have already given you a a direction of thinking from the UPSC perspective, because they have highlighted and they have uploaded the past year questions of UPSC too. So let us now begin, and I welcome all of you once again to Civil Service Achievers Point. Uh, like we will be discussing the sociology optional in great details in this session, and for those who have joined us for the first time, I would recommend you to join our free WhatsApp groups. The link has been provided in the description. You can also visit our website, that is www.csap.co.in. In fact, you can even download our CSAP application, from which is available both in the Play Store for the Android phones as well as in the Apple iStore for the Apple phones. And there you can also get access to a lot of exciting courses which can help you for your upcoming exams for prelims as well as mains. So if you join the free WhatsApp groups and if you follow our websites, you will get daily current affairs for free of cost on a daily basis. Along with that, you'll be also getting answer writing practice, question and model answers daily in the WhatsApp groups, along with the Telegram channel of CSAP. So without wasting much time, let us now start with sociology as an optional subject. Before I start, I would like to ask each and every one of you who are hearing me live right now to drop down your questions in the comment box also, okay, so that I can cover those questions specifically in today's session. Okay, and what will be the format of our class in this online program? Like every week we'll be having minimum 6 to 8 hours of classes. Okay, that means 3 to 4 classes every week. All right, and whatever I will teach you, suppose in this week, whatever I will teach you, I will keep a special doubt clearing session in the next week, which will be again held live. Okay, but I will tell you one thing, that all the classes will be not live, okay, like as it is happening today. But yes, these 5 classes will be definitely it will be in the live nature, but after that I am planning to record the sessions and upload it in a fixed time, and which you will be notified in your WhatsApp groups, like when after you take the admission, after the ending of the 5 classes, and then I'll start giving the recorded classes topic wise. And after the 1 week's classes are over, in the next week we will again interact in the live manner to clarify all your doubts in any topic what was taught in the previous week. All right, and in the doubt clearing session I'll be also discussing some special question answer. I'll be trying to develop your answer writing skills in a great detail. You will see today itself, because we are going to cover everything in the great details in today's session. And when I'll be sharing with you all, in fact, I'll be sharing with you the resources that will be following up, okay, and you'll be getting the study materials. Do not worry. But since this is a online mode classroom, so you'll be getting the study materials only in the PDF format, okay. But if you want to purchase the hard copies, you can definitely purchase the hard copies from the institute. All right. So let us now begin with like sociology as an optional subject. Okay. Now, if I ask you, for example, if I ask you like, what is sociology? What do you understand by the subject sociology? And also, like, why you want to take up sociology as an optional subject? Okay. I think almost those who are hearing to me right now in the live mode, so you must be having a thing in your mind that why do you need to take up sociology as an optional, okay, and when is the right time to take sociology as an optional, for example. Okay, for example, who is the right candidate to take sociology as an optional? If I ask you a question there, okay, you can answer, you can interact with me. Let us, we need to make it like interactive program, because that will definitely turn out to be a very productive one. Okay, so if you want to make it an interactive one, please do add your questions in the comment section, and if you can even reply to my questions, whatever I'll be asking you in the comment section. Okay, so who is the right candidate to take up sociology as an optional subject? Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that a person who will take sociology as an optional definitely needs to develop a genuine interest in the subject. That is very important. If you do not develop a genuine interest in the subject, it will be really difficult for you to cover up the entire syllabus. Doesn't matter whether how much we teach you, how much resources we'll share with you, how much answer writing practice we'll do with you. It doesn't matter at the end of the day if you are not having a genuine interest for the subject. So that, because you have to fall in love with sociology, you have to prove yourself as a student of sociology. Whenever someone will read your sociology answers, they have to come to know that you are a student of sociology. And how will they come to know that you are a student of sociology? Only by looking at your all right. Uh, just let me just check it. I think now it is coming, right? Can you hear me again? Can you hear me again? Okay. I don't know what happened, but suddenly the microphone was muted. I didn't mute it up, but I think there was some technical glitch. Anyways, I hope I'm audible right now, right? I'm also looking at the comments in my mobile phone. So I hope I am audible enough right now. Can just someone say add a yes? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. All right. So what I was talking about was to develop the interest in the subject. Okay. Now, if you ask me, okay, if you ask me, for example, now how do we measure, okay, how do we gauge whether you are interested in sociology or not? Okay. Now there are many other factors also, like if in deciding a optional subject, for example, someone may be from a different background like maths, physics, or in fact from some other background of subjects. But how do you measure yourself, like whether you are a perfect candidate for sociology or not? Okay, because see, along with the optional of the selecting of the optional subject, you need to definitely have certain other factors. All right, for example, For example, you need to have the proper amount of study materials. Okay, that is very important. Then you need to have a particular amount of guidance if that is not your subject, because in an optional subject you need to go into the depth of the subject. You need to grasp the technicalities in a very well manner. All right, you need to do a lot of practice of answer writing, because I'll tell you, in optional subject only 30% is your reading effort. Okay, 70% should be your writing effort. Only if you write the answers and get it evaluated from the experts, definitely you will have a better chance to crack this exam. But maximum people, what they will do, they will focus on only the reading part. 90% they will read, and just before the mains, 1-2 months prior to mains, they will focus on writing answers. But that is not going to help you to crack this exam. Okay, so you need to do the opposite. You need to read 30% effort. Okay, if 100% effort is required to crack the exam with sociology as an optional, 30% effort should come in the from the reading perspective, 70% should come from the writing perspective. All right, so we'll come to the writing part later on. But again, as I asked you, how do you gauge yourself whether like you are interested in sociology or not? Because many aspirants have this doubt. I think you some of you, like, who are listening to me right now, you must be also having a doubt that whether sociology will be the right subject with you or not. Okay, so while doing that, I'd like to tell you that one of the signs, okay, that you feel that sociology can be the right subject for you is that when you are reading a particular topic. All right, when you're reading a particular topic and you complete the topic and you do not know, you are not aware that how much time it required. Okay, and like you don't have an idea of like how much time has passed since you started reading the topic. Okay, and this happens when you are reading some topic where you are very much interested. You do not look at the time, but what happens with us when we're reading a particular topic to which we are not interested? We always look at the number of pages that are left to be read, right? We normally do it. As me, as also a student of sociology, okay, not as a student of sociology, but when I was a student, maybe like in the college time, when we didn't used to like a particular subject, we used to see how many pages are left. Okay, what is the time it has gone, like, and how much time it is left for the class to take over, right? So that, like, if you can find out that, like, if you are reading a particular topic in sociology and time has been passed away very soon, like, and you didn't even realize how much, you didn't even have an idea how much time has passed since you started with the topic and you completed it. Okay, that itself will show, if this case is there with you, it will show that you are having some genuine interest in the subject and you are the right person. If you are belonging to this particular category of students, okay, who are having this amount of interest for this optional subject, you need not think, or you need not give a second thought to it. All right, you don't think about anything. Optional के लिए sources है नहीं है, doesn't matter. Answer writing practice होगा नहीं होगा, doesn't matter. Everything will happen, everything will fall in line, provided you have the interest. Okay, and definitely the guidance is required if it is a new subject for you. And then if you can know that this interest is there, then comes the second important question, that why sociology you should take up. Okay, because definitely it's a subject with a very small syllabus. Okay, the syllabus, as you compare with other optional subjects, definitely the syllabus of sociology is less as compared to the other subjects. Okay, it helps you in various answer writing of GS. Especially in GS1, you know that in GS1 syllabus there is a topic of Indian society, and nowadays almost 50 to 60 marks of question is coming from Indian society part, and definitely reading sociology will help you in getting good marks in GS1 also. Okay, along with that, in your essay paper, okay, whenever you go through the topics of essay, you see that there is always a topic from the sociological dimension or perspective, and your essay writing improves like anything. Okay, your essay writing improves like anything. You can even get 160, 150 out of 250 in essay if you take up sociology as an option, because your way of writing becomes very much multidimensional. Okay, because sociology develops that thought process of thinking from various perspectives. All right, and that is the beauty of this subject. When we'll study sociology as an optional subject in the upcoming classes, we'll take up a particular topic. Okay, for example, we take up a particular topic, for example, marriage. marriage as an institution of the society, okay, or family as an institution of the society. Now we'll understand that particular topic from various dimensions. Like for example, what the conflict perspective will talk about marriage. Okay, Karl Marx is there in the conflict perspective. Then functional perspective is there. Okay, under that functional perspective, what Emile Durkheim will talk about marriage as an institution of the society. Okay, then we'll talk about from a different perspective, like from the interpretative perspective written by developed by Max Weber. Okay, so what we see, this is the beauty of sociology. Okay, that is why we say, now for example, I will give you an example. Now for example, the way of the type of marriage. Okay, now we know that the marriage between the same sex is also a social fact as of now, but in our society, yes, but 100 years back in our society, marriage between same sex was not at all a social fact. It was not recognized by the society, right? So if I tell you that marriage between same sex is a social fact of Indian society, now that is true or false, it will depend on about like which time period we're talking about, right? 100 years back it was false, it was false, and maybe now it can be a social fact. Now this is the beauty of sociology. Like sociology is never the truth, I'll tell you. Okay, for example, if there is a statement, it may not be the truth for everyone. That is the beauty of sociology, and that when you read this subject, that develops your thinking from various angles, from various dimensions, and that is also what is required in your GS answers. Okay, writing a very beautiful, dynamic, okay, interrelating between various topics of the syllabus, okay, and then interrelating with the current affairs, making your answer very contemporary one. And that is how you get more marks as compared to others, and this will secure help you secure a very good rank. And sociology actually, now this is like we'll understand particular topics like manifest and latent functions. Now you'll not understand that as of now if you have not read sociology, but manifest functions of taking sociology is like what, directly, okay, that it will help you score very good marks and you will get the rank. And latent function can be like your answer writing will get improved. Okay, that is not a direct agenda of taking sociology as an optional, but the indirect agenda will be what, improving your answer writing, even in GS answers, even in your essay. And along with that, your ethics paper gets also helped out if you are taking sociology as an optional. And most importantly, I will keep a separate session for how to address the interview answers, because as you must be knowing about me, I have been taking a lot of in fact interview sessions for a lot of candidates. In fact, in the last interview session also, I had taken a lot of interview sessions and many of them cracked the exam. And that is where I try to give a sociological perspective and an insight in your answers. Why that is important? Because being a civil servant, okay, or trying to become a future civil servant, from the bureaucratic perspective, you definitely need to have a perspective from the society. Because whatever policies you implement, what is the role of these civil services for the exam that you're preparing for? Now, this is an agency, this is a platform with the help of which you implement the law of the land, right? Or the policies that has been made by the legislatures. Now, while you do so, okay, you definitely need to have a very strong connection with the consequences or the perspectives that will be from the sociological or which will put an impact on the society. So you need to understand from the society's perspective. That is how your answers in the interview also gets very mature, and you can score 30 marks more in your interview. And trust me, if you get 30 marks more in the interview as compared to the average candidate, you'll definitely get a top rank in the exam. Okay, so these are the advantages of taking sociology as an optional subject. It is a very small syllabus. One thing I missed, and that is the most important thing, is like sociology is such a subject that it can be understood in a very easy manner. It's not a rocket science. It's not like physics, it's not like mathematics, it's not like chemistry, or in fact it's not even like some other humanities subjects where you need to think a lot. Because sociology is a subject which you all like, which deals with the society. That is the minimum understanding we all have as of now. But we have seen the society from our perspective, and that is why it helps us to understand sociology, and we understand for example, if we talk about marriage, which is topic of the syllabus. If we talk about caste system in India, which is also topic of the syllabus. If we talk about the different forms of social changes, that is also part of the syllabus, and we have seen social changes taking place. Now, it helps us understand the subject in a very easy manner. But one thing I'll warn you even before we start with the subject, and that is while studying for sociology, we need to unlearn the knowledge that we have and learn it from the sociological perspective. Okay, when I say that we need to unlearn the subject, societal perspective, okay, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. So, sorry for that interference. Okay. All right. Okay, there are certain questions coming up. I'll be taking those questions definitely. All right. So I think I'm audible enough, right, to all of you? Okay. Okay. So we were discussing about what? We were discussing about what to unlearn. Okay, while we take up sociology as an optional subject, what to unlearn certain things. Okay, why I tell you to unlearn certain things? Because we know that we have developed various kind of value systems. We come from different societies, we come from different communities, right? And when we come from different communities, from different societies, we develop a lot of stereotypes. All right, we develop a lot of stereotypes. For example, you talk about intercaste marriage. Now, on intercaste marriage itself, suppose what I might be having a different thought process on intercaste marriage, you might be having a different thought process on intercaste marriage. But that is not being asked in the exam, and that is not. So that is what I try to say, or I try to mean when I say that you need to unlearn what you know already if you need to study sociology. Okay, for example, if you have a thought process on intercaste marriage, if you have an opinion, okay, if you have an opinion on intercaste marriage, you need to unlearn that opinion, and you need to learn what the thinkers will talk about on intercaste marriage. Because when the question of intercaste marriage will come in the exam, you will have to write what the thinkers talk about on intercaste marriage. Okay, not about what your family or what you think or what your society thinks about it. That is not being asked in the exam. And that is what you need to learn in sociology, and unlearn what you already know, or what thought process you have already on particular topics of the syllabus. Okay, so if you try to make yourself learn this subject with a very open mindset, you will do really very good in this subject. Okay, and which will definitely help you crack this exam with a very good rank. Now we'll go in a very detailed manner in the depth analysis. Okay, I'm just taking a few questions as of now, so that a number of questions doesn't get assembled and doesn't get accumulated to a more number. One question I am seeing as of now from Bimal Saha. So I got admission into Master of Social Work. Is it helpful for me to choose sociology as an optional subject? The sociology and Master of Social Work interlinked with each other. Now see, Bimal, I'll tell you one thing. This Master of Social Work, you try to find out the syllabus, and you like this type of things I will not be telling you directly. Okay, because why? Because certain amount of homework needs to be done from the student's perspective. I don't believe in a spoon feeding thing. Okay, but still I'll try to give everything if you're coming and joining this course with us in CSAP. Now what I will tell you, and this is also applicable for everyone, you find out a syllabus of Master of Social Work. Okay, and you try to find out the syllabus of sociology, you match it, okay, and then you will find out yourself. But I'll tell you one thing, that sociology is a theory, okay, but Master of Social Work is the application of that theory. All right, so from one perspective it will definitely help you, because nowadays the questions are also coming from the application perspective. Are you getting it? The questions that are coming in the exam are coming from the application based questions. We'll see today. Okay, I'll share the screen and we'll see a lot of questions. Okay, today, like what are the type of questions that are coming in the exam. So we'll understand how dynamic it is. Okay, so definitely application based questions, if you are able to write it from a different perspective, it will definitely help you. Okay, Bimal. Krishnamani, society is a topic of interest of mine after reading the NCRT. I am very clear about this, that is why I want to go with this. Very good, Krishnamani. In fact, even I will suggest everyone that you should first read class 12 NCRT of Indian society. There is a sociology NCRT, okay, in class 12, and that is what you need to read. Okay, first of all, if you want to see whether you have interest in this subject or not. And from tomorrow, we are directly going ahead with books like this Harlambus and Holborn. I'll be showing you all the books, okay, like what is required. Now, this book is like a Bible of sociology. I'll be covering everything that is required. Okay, now for this, now if I open the pages, okay, if I open the pages of this book, we will see that there are almost around 1100 pages. Now, you don't need to read those 1100 pages. Now, that is where the guidance is required. Okay, you don't need to read the 1100 pages. Now, apart from this, for the thinkers part, we'll be specifically following this book, that is Sociological Theory by George Richard. Okay, now this is a very, very important book for sociology as an optional. Now, these two books have to be read. Now, I'll tell you one thing in sociology, that, like, for example, sociology is a subject which you also have to read by your own, and that is why I'll be sharing a lot of PDF materials, okay, handouts. In every class you'll get PDF materials on that particular topic. Okay, I'll explain the things, you'll also get sources to read the things. Okay, and I have already written down the pages that are required. Okay, if you can see this, okay, chapter wise of the bigger book. Okay, because many people are scared to see this book of 1100 pages. You don't need to read all the pages. Okay, and I'll be teaching you from this chapters itself. Okay, from tomorrow itself we are starting with this this book. Okay, and in the second page, if you see, there are only 466 pages out of 1100 pages that you need to read from this book. Okay, if you read this book, you will develop a very beautiful sociological understanding, and which will definitely help you grasp the subject in a very good manner. Along with that, you will be also able to write very, very good sociological answers. All right, so I'll be talking about the sources, okay, in great details after some time. So taking the next questions, like Krishnamani, it's very good. Then coming to Ankur Jain, sir, will vigorous mock writing be a part of the course? Yes, definitely, Ankur. As I already said, okay, as I already said, that 30% effort should come from your reading effort, okay, and 70% should be your answer writing. Almost every day after every class, you'll be getting 1 or 2 questions to write, okay, the answers. And in fact, and not only this, all right, not only this, you will be getting questions from our side. Okay, from our side, if I will share the screen with you, okay, just if I share the screen with you, all right, like, I hope you are able to see the screen, right? So these are certain notes that have been prepared by us. Okay, like, you will directly get an access to all those notes. Can just someone type a yes if you can see the screen, which is showing some Yojana articles here? Can you just write an yes in the comment section if you can see this screen, so that I can move ahead? All right, I hope you are able to see it, because this is just a technical process and it should be working fine. All right, I'll just wait for a couple of seconds to just get some answers. If you can see the screen. All right, this is visible enough. I can see this. Okay, now see, this is this will be the type of sources that you'll be also getting. All right, for example, you can see here that this is a particular notes that we have developed up for Karl Marx. Okay, now on Karl Marx itself, okay, you can see that there are question bank. Okay, like, these are also the previous year's questions that have already come in on the topic of Karl Marx, okay, in UPSC as well as APSC. So we'll be discussing these questions also along with so this will be the approach of teaching. When we'll study a particular topic, for example, we are studying Karl Marx, which is a very, very important thinker of your syllabus. All right, so we'll also discuss the questions that have already appeared, and also we'll have some particular practice questions. Okay, we can take up practice questions from a lot, and you can write down the answers. Okay, this is just an answer to the to Ankur's question. as he asked, and this is, I'm just showing it to you that how we will cover up. Okay, and not only this, in fact, if I show it to you, we have also downloaded some of the, for example, toppers answer scripts. Okay, and these are available like under Vision IS. Okay, that's the institute in Delhi, and I personally was also engaged with one institute in Delhi in answer writing like sessions. Okay, I was checking answers of various candidates in an institute called as Aditya Mungra's institute in Delhi that teaches like sociology as an optional, and that is being taught by the founder of that institute. And I was also engaged with that institute in Delhi before I came back to Assam. All right, so you can see here that there are also various toppers answer scripts, and we'll be discussing in details about this answer scripts, how the toppers used to write. You can see these are also question answers on the question of caste and Varna system of India. All right, so these are the type of answers that also will see that how toppers used to write, and they have successfully cracked the UPSC exam. Okay, we will also discussing these things in great details while we'll be covering the answer writing sessions. All right, so please do not worry about anything. We'll discuss everything in great details. All right, so these are just some of the examples that I have just showed it to you. I hope you have understood what a little bit of the process of how I will teach you sociology as an optional subject. Okay. Now, apart from that, I have one more question that is coming from Nandita Sahas. I have completed my graduation in zoology major. Does it help for me to take sociology as optional? Nandita, see, like obviously, like zoology and sociology is not having a direct connection, but at the same time, you can take up sociology as an optional. Why? As I already said, if you are having an interest in the subject, and if you can definitely follow the things, implement the things that I'll be telling you in this session of almost 1.5 hours to 2 hours, you can definitely take up sociology as an optional, and it's a very easy subject. You can trust me on that. Okay, it will not make you fall in a trap. All right, so let us now go ahead with what we have been discussing. Okay, as I told you, like sociology, if you're thinking to take as an optional, first of the important thing that you need to have is the genuine interest on the subject. That is the minimum requirement I'm expecting from you. All right, rest of the things I am not expecting anything from you. Only if you have the interest, you can definitely come on board with us after the 5 days of free classes, and we will very beautifully complete the entire course in 4 months, and we'll develop sociology as an optional subject, entire everything that is required, along with answer writing sessions. The second thing that is required is to go through the syllabus and previous year's questions. Okay, that is very important. Even before you start preparing sociology as an optional subject. Okay, but when you have to go through syllabus and previous year's questions, I see students, they just go through it in a random manner. Okay, just this is the syllabus, these are the questions that have come, they just give a random reading and then they come to an end. That should not be the thing. You should do it in a very exhaustive manner. I will do it in today's session only. We'll do it. Okay, just that is why I'm requesting everyone to stay till the end. You will get a lot of perspectives. Even if you do not take sociology as an optional subject, you will definitely get certain ideas how to cover up the other subjects also, because the approach is always same. Okay, the approach is always same for all the subjects. Okay, so that is why I request all of you to stay till the end, so that you come and have a very, very good understanding on what and how to prepare an optional subject. Okay, so even in fact, if you ask me, I have been often asked by people, like बहुत सारे students आते हैं and they ask me often like which subject is a good optional. Okay, which subject is a good option. Now there is no particular answer to all the candidates. Okay, there cannot be one answer to all. Okay, it cannot be a same answer to all. Now the reply to that question is like, what is a good option for you? Okay, if someone is asking me what is a good option for you, the answer is that choose the subject that you fall in love with. As I already said, okay, the genuine interest, you have to fall in love with the subject. Okay, so that is why whether to know that you are falling in love with a particular subject or not, you have to go through the syllabus. We'll go through the syllabus now, and along with that, you also have to read certain study materials on that subject. For example, or if you want to take up sociology, you can go and read class 12 NCRT. That is the minimum expectation I can at least expect from you. Okay, and then you find out whether you are like liking the subject or not. Okay, now other considerations, okay, for sociology is like, I'll tell you in this subject, the correlation is very important. Okay, for example, in paper one, there are thinkers. Okay, the classical Western thinkers, for example, Emile Durkheim is there, Karl Marx is there, Talcott Parsons is there. You will read everything in Greek and you will enjoy this. Okay, you will. I can bet on it. You will enjoy this. But what is the correlation between paper one and paper two? Okay, for example, if there is a question on caste system, in fact, there also you can write thinkers from paper one. There is the expectation from the evaluators, but this is not being done by maximum candidates, and that is why maximum candidates fail to gain a lot of certain good marks in the exam. And that is why I say that we had written the answers but we didn't get marks. Definitely will not get marks if you're not writing thinkers, if you're not correlating paper one and paper two. You should mix up. Paper two you can write in paper one with different examples. All right, with different examples. For example, paper one thinkers can be, as I already said, can be written in paper two. Okay, along with that, not only between paper one and paper two, along with that, you should be also able to correlate, okay, the current affairs. All right, the current affairs with the topics, and that is how the questions are in fact coming in the exam. Okay, I'll show you in today's session itself. We'll see how from which news, specific news from the Hindu, questions have come in UPSC mains. It can be even picked up by APSC. APSC will have certain amount of good number of static questions, definitely, and that will be very easy. But even if dynamic questions come from current affairs, I will even make you prepare like from that perspective also. We'll see that in today's session itself. Okay, then we also should be able, okay, to, like, as I already said, along with the correlation, we should be able to cite relevant examples from current affairs. Okay, that is the minimum thing it is required. मतलब वो आपको आना पड़ेगा. Okay, and that is what I will also help you develop it in the like upcoming time period. Okay, for example, if there is a question on Karl Marx, now let me just share the screen with you. Okay, let me just show you one thing. Okay, okay, this is the share option. I'll just share the screen with you and show you something. All right, for example, again coming here, you can see here that there is a current affairs part. Okay, now these are certain, for example, the Karl Marx topic, and there are certain topics from the newspapers. Okay, for example, you can see this very beautiful. I'm just showing you an example how we'll relate and correlate sociology theory syllabus along with your current affairs, because that is a very important to do. Okay, you have to do it if you want to crack the exam with a good rank and get and score some good marks. Okay, so here you can see that there is an article, reading Marx in times of COVID-19, a very beautiful article. And definitely I can bet, anyone can guarantee that there will be questions on COVID-19 and sociological impact. Okay, in the upcoming exams of mains of either APSC or UPSC, there will be a question on this, like to discuss about the impact, to discuss about the sociological impact of COVID-19. And this is an article, okay, which we have taken from the newspaper, and you can very beautifully, it will definitely put as a fodder point for your answer, okay, from the current affairs. Now there are, so for example, this is the topic of Karl Marx, and there are anything that has come in the news. Okay, meet private school principal in Telangana forced to sell idli. Then this is also a news which we can directly relate with popularization theory of Karl Marx. Now I'll teach you, okay, I'll teach you each and every topic of the syllabus. Now this is why you'll enjoy learning sociology. Okay, हर एक topic आपको बहुत interesting लगेगा if you definitely have the interest on this subject, and we'll also relate with the current affairs, okay, from the newspaper. Okay, along with that, we'll also try to understand the various forms of questions that have come in the exam. All right, so that is how, again, this is also one of the example that I showed it to you, what will be the process and the approach of us in teaching you different like the topics of the syllabus. All right, now I'm stopping the share again and coming back. I got a comment from Rumana R, you are not audible at 5:47. Okay, or was there any technical glitch? I hope everything is going fine as of now. Okay, yeah, let us go ahead with whatever we're discussing. So I think you have already got a brief overview, like what is the subject looks like and how we are going to cover up. Okay, so along with this, I was talking about like what are the minimum things that you need to have when you are preparing sociology as an optional subject. Okay, so as I said, the first part is the genuine interest. You have to fall in love with the subject. Second is the correlation, okay, between the paper 1 and paper 2, and that is where you need to know the syllabus in an exhaustive manner. Okay, you have to understand each and every topic, why it is there, and what is the meaning of each and every subtopic of the syllabus. Along with that, the correlation between the paper and the current affairs, that is very, very important. Okay, and then you have to have a certain amount of effort in to highlight, to cite examples. Sociology demands a lot of examples while writing answers in the mains. Okay, so along with it, obviously the structure of the answer, how to write, how to complete the answers. Okay, what are the types of what are the ways of writing an answer, paragraph writing, point wise writing. Now those things are very basic things. We can discuss those things later also, that is not a problem. But at the same time, we have to understand that sociology is a subject which is very, very easy to understand. Okay, it is definitely very, very easy to understand. But if it is very easy, but then why many people are not getting success by taking sociology as an optional subject? Okay, that is also a part that we need to discuss. Okay, and that is where the problem lies. Okay, in how to remember and reproduce the relevant content in the actual paper. Okay, for example, that is where, because everyone taking sociology will hear them that I have written everything. Okay, because I have studied everything, I've written, but when the result comes out, they fail to crack the exam. Their marks are very low. Okay, why? Because sociology optional is also having a lot of sources. Okay, now you need to minimize the sources, and that is why our sources will be fixed right from the day 1 to the last day, till the day when we'll be writing mains. Okay, our sources will be fixed, but we'll revise maximum from those sources, and we'll try to reproduce the same content in our answers. Otherwise, what happens, you read something but you forget those sociological words and you try to reproduce it in your own words, and that is why you will not get marks in this exam. Okay, because in social, but this is not the thing in GS. In GS you can read and reproduce in your own words. It will not, like, you can still get good marks there. But in sociology, you have to use the words, the keywords, the terms used by the thinkers. That is where you cannot help. Okay, this is a challenge in the subject. You have to remember the keywords, you have to remember the terms, and it is easy because sociology, the syllabus is so beautifully drafted that one after another, every topic will have some link with the other topic, and this topic keeps on getting repeated. All right. For example, when we will start with the first topic of paper 1, sociology as a discipline. Okay, how it got evolved, what is the scope of this subject, how to compare sociology with different subjects. Then again, similarly, we study sociology as a science, whether sociology is a science or not. And then we study some research methodologies. Now in all these chapters, the same topics are getting repeated. So when you repeat the topics, even I will repeat while teaching, you will have to revise, you will have to do the answer writing practice. Slowly and gradually the terms will become like a common sense for you. Okay, so it will be definitely an easy one for you. But only thing is, you have to keep in your mind is that whatever you read, you have to reproduce those things in the answer. Okay, in the exam, you cannot use different. For example, if Durkheim uses social fact to explain a particular phenomena, you should be using the word social fact only in your answer. Okay, you cannot use a different word to explain the same thing. All right, so these things have to be kept in the mind. So this point that I said, okay, you can jot down these points if you want. Okay, that I said was like usage of maximum sociological terms in your answer. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. You have to use maximum sociological terms in your answer. But what people end up doing, they end up using less number of sociological answers and just end up writing a general answer in the sociology paper, and definitely they will not be getting marks after that. Okay, so how to use maximum sociological terms, and that is why we need to read the thinkers and the theory part, and which will learn it in a very great like detailed manner. All right, then in fact nowadays, since the question paper is becoming very dynamic, we'll in fact get certain diagrams, okay, in our textbooks. We can even draw those diagrams in our answers. Okay, then definitely you should like underline important sentences, and wherever you are mentioning the thinker's name, for example Karl Marx, you should box it. You should make a box, okay, on the side of the like the thinker's name. Okay, and if you can highlight 4 boxes, at least 4 to 5 boxes at least per page, trust me, you will get very good score, very high score in sociology as an option. You'll get score like more above 300 plus out of 500, and which is like the toppers get usually above 300, like because you know that there are 2 papers, 250 250 each, total is 500 marks. So if you can get 300 320 340, you are definitely getting a top rank. No one can stop you from that. Okay, so but again, getting 300 and plus is not that easy, because this amount of minimum effort is definitely required. Okay, you have to rewrite the same question answers a lot many number of times. Okay, and that is what I will help you do it. Okay, so usage of maximum sociological terms, underlining keywords of the thinkers are very important while you write your answers. Okay, and you remember this part, because see why I'm telling you in the very first day, because people tend to forget. Okay, people tend to forget. If I tell you that you need to write 3 4 or 4 5 thinkers name on every page of your answer, okay, when you are writing in the exam, you definitely need to write box it, make a box on the 4 sides of the thinker, and you need to show it to the evaluator that yes, see that I know the thinkers who are associated with this particular topic that has been asked in the exam. Okay, so you need to have that. And also one point that I said, as I told you, is that reading and finishing syllabus is only the 30% of work. What is option subject? What is the 70% of the job? It is about the answer writing, mock test, and practicing different form of question answer writing. Okay, so that is very important. You all need to do it. But again, when I when I go through through different strategies of sociology and everything, like I find it very difficult to believe, like when like many toppers, when they say like they in fact when I interact with a lot of people, they say that like when they get the results, right, when they get the results, they never thought that they will get this rank or they will get that rank. Okay, and in fact the toppers never think that they will get this rank. Okay, but then what is the actual thing, uh like when they say this type of things, I actually cannot believe it. Like, do they actually say it in a genuine manner, or like they just say it just because they have to say it? Okay, but trust me, like with the like benefit of the hindsight that I have because of interacting with so many students and so many toppers, okay, across last like 3 4 years, okay, I can say that when like a candidate starts preparing, okay, we start with a self-doubt. That is what I have observed. Okay, even if you take sociology as an optional, you will always have a self-doubt in you that like whether this is the right subject or not, whether I'll do good or not, whether I'll be able to write a good answer or not, whether I'll score more or not, whether I will get a rank or not. Okay, so this will bring a lot of amount of a lack. This will move you to a position where you'll be lacking in your confidence. Okay, and then obviously if you lack confidence in a subject, there'll be a lot of fears and uncertainties coming up, and like from all the sides, and you'll definitely go and lose your motivation for the subject, and also maybe for your preparation. Okay, so this is quite possible. Okay, I think everyone will agree with me that this is quite possible. And but then the important part is like how to come out of this. Okay, how to come out of this and stay motivated, and not to bring those self-doubt and self like having a low amount of the confidence. Now if you are in a state like this, trust me, guidance and the coaching will be very much essential for you, because we will help you maintain a very smooth pace in following a smooth pace in order to grasp this subject. Because if you're reading it by your own, there will be lots of ups and downs. Someday you'll be motivated, someday you'll be demotivated, someday you are like in a very much energetic position to study, okay, almost for 10-12 hours. Someday you are not even studying for 2 hours. So if you're not able to maintain that consistency, it will actually not help you to crack this exam. All right, so that is very, very important. Okay, so that is why I always say that whenever you are studying a particular subject, for example sociology or any GS subject, okay, it doesn't matter like for how many hours you are studying. It matters the amount of right focus, whether you are giving it or not. Okay, you might study for 2 hours, you might study for 4 hours in a particular day, but your effort should be in a very, very focused manner. Okay, if you are able to do it with some right amount of confidence in you that you can do this exam, if you say that yes, I can crack this exam, okay, you will definitely crack it. That amount of confidence is required, but not overconfidence, obviously. Okay, so this self-belief, the self-faith, and to remain optimistic is very, very important. All right, so that is just a small message that I had to give you. Now let us move to the other parts, like discussing the different sources and discussing the different like your syllabus of the subject, so that is sociology. Then let us see the different types of questions that have appeared in the past year questions. Let us also see how it is related with the current affairs. Okay, we'll also see what will be our approach of teaching. Okay, now before we go back to those questions one by one, let me tell you like what is the syllabus. Okay, so I had just downloaded one syllabus before I started with this session from the internet itself. Okay, so you can see like the syllabus. I'll share the screen with all of you. Okay, okay, before moving to that, let me take a few questions if I have some. Okay, so Bhuman Borwa is asking, sir, are ki ki optional or khubida ase? We have optional subjects like political science, anthropology, okay, then geography as of now, then and obviously sociology. Then Ruyum Pegu has asked, sir, I'm just about to get done with my graduation in sociology, and I wanted to know how to divide my day to start off with my preparation. How do I stop procrastination and how to stay active? Ruyum, it is very important to make timetables for that. Okay, Ruyum, I'll be taking this question at last because this is like this will deal with almost like I can say about the strategy of preparing everything about the entire like course, right? Not only sociology, but even your GS and everything. So I'm noting down this question. Okay, overall, like how to stay motivated and everything, Ruyum. So just please be there till the end, and I'll be taking this question of yours at the last. Okay. Apart from that, if I see, if I check some other question, like Jasmine has asked, sir, I'm from nursing background. We had sociology as one of our subject in second year, so please tell, is it helpful to make it too? Yes, definitely, Jasmine. If you have read sociology in your past academics history, and if you have that interest, as I've already said, okay, I've already said that what are the minimum factors that are required if you need to be sure by yourself that whether this will be the right subject or not. Okay, so I've already said like you should fall in love with this subject, you should be genuinely interested, you should be able to correlate, and that is obviously I'll teach every one of you like how to correlate between paper 1, paper 2 along with the current affairs. We'll see today itself. Okay, so these are the minimum things that you definitely need to have like if you want to go ahead with sociology as an optional subject. Romana is asking, sir, pol science and sociology are related. To some extent we can say it is related, but obviously not directly. Otherwise, if it like it is definitely not the same subject, and that is also topic of the syllabus, that why sociology as a distinct discipline was the necessity to be created altogether, like to have a new subject at all. Okay, and that is where our founding fathers have played a major role, like August Comte, Herbert Spencer, okay, Emile Durkheim. They have proved a lot in establishing sociology as a different subject, as a new discipline of subject of study. Okay, because everyone questioned sociology as a new distinct subject, because they said like psychology will come and say that you are studying human beings, we also study human beings, why do you need a separate subject? Okay, sociology will study politics of society, political science will come and say we are already studying it, why do you need a different subject? Okay, so these are, then history will also say like similar things, and all the subjects will come and say in similar thing, and that is where the founding fathers played a major role in establishing sociology as a the new distinct discipline as a subject, and that is also a part of your syllabus of chapter 1 and 2. Like we'll see those things in great details. Okay, Ajur, okay, love you sir, I love all my students, that's like thank you for that. Sasanka, box with another color? No Sasank, like there itna time nahi milega exam mein ki aap pen change karo, just box it up with like with the same color, okay, or underline with the same color, that is very much okay. Krishnamon is again asking a question, so in answer writing can we use a different language for some quotes or some famous line? If you're writing in English, try to maintain it in English, okay, it is not required to go into other languages, okay, but if you're writing in Assamese for APSC, then probably you can write in English, okay. Sumin sir, I never had sociology in my academics, will it somehow hamper me as an option? No, definitely not, Sumin. Like if you, again, as I said, like if you are having those interests, trust me, I will make it very easy for everyone, okay, each and every one of you. And Sumin, I think you have already taken the admission, so now, as I already said, that now there is no time to give that second thought, to give that I already said this, I dealt with this for just a few minutes back, that you all will be in a self-doubt, okay, that whether I took the right decision or not, whether this will be the right subject for me or not. Do not do that, okay. Once you decide a particular subject, once you take a decision, just try to make the decision right. Do not waste your time in thinking whether this decision will be right or wrong, okay. Every decision can be made right if you walk in the right direction to get the goal fulfilled, okay. So we'll help you in those things. All right, now for example, if we now try to continue, we'll just take a small break of 1 minute or so, okay. I think that is all right. We'll just take a small drinks break, okay, so you can also take a small break, and then again we'll come back. I'll just drink some water and we'll continue after 1 minute. Stay there, like don't go away, we'll just continue after 1 minute. All right, we are back and let us continue. So as like we are discussing about that we might be having some low amount of motivation, but do not worry about that, okay. See, nowadays if you have decided something, to prepare for something, everything is available in the internet, okay. There's so much of information. What today's problem is not lack of information or not lack of resources, okay. Everyone is having the information and the resources, but what is the problem at today's time is lack of focus, lack of proper guidance, okay. This is very important, that you should not be lacking in your focus. So that is why it is very important to stay in the right track, okay. You cannot afford to follow n number of sources, you cannot afford to read n number of books. If you are having a minimum resource list, you should focus on it and you should stick to it and try to revise maximum and try to focus more on the practice aspect of the preparation. All right, so that is very important. Information तो बहुत है, बहुत सारी वेबसाइट्स है, बहुत सारे यूट्यूब चैनल्स होगा, ठीक है, जिसमें आपको बहुत सारी चीजें मिल जाएगा. But if you are trying to follow everything and if you are trying to you thinking that I'll complete everything, okay, and in a very ideal way, that is never going to happen, okay. So that is why it is very important for all of you to come back and focus. Now one thing I would like to tell you is that, like in sociology, I also said that citing examples is very, very important, right? I told you that. Now let us go into that in deep manner, what I meant through it. I'll show you with examples. Okay, I'll show you two examples. These are the things that you need to require to develop, because since from tomorrow we'll be starting with like this with the classes directly. Okay, we are directly starting with this book tomorrow, from tomorrow, Harlambus and Holborn. This is like the Bible of Sociology. Okay, and I'll tell you, I'll give you the book list also at the end, so don't worry, just wait for it. We'll discuss the book list at the end. So since we are starting with this book from tomorrow, we will try to grasp a lot many number of examples along with it. Okay, so now let me tell you that what did I mean, okay, when I told you that you need to have this criteria in you if you want to do well with sociology as an optional, and this is that you have to cite examples in your answers, and if it can be a real life example, you will get more marks, that is for sure. Okay, as I already said, I have been associated with one institute in Delhi, Aditya Mongra's classes, which is famous for sociology, and there I was working as a support faculty, and that is where I had checked some of the question like answers of many candidates, and through that also I've developed like a perspective that how and when what you write, how much you score, and I've also seen people cracking this exam. Okay, now let me give you those examples. For example, like if I tell you, okay, if I tell you, like when we are doing answer writing practice, okay, now when I told you that we need to talk about like for example like certain theory and certain like real life examples which we need to cite in the exam. Okay, now what do you understand from that perspective? Okay, for example, I will share the screen with you and I will show it to you that what I specifically mean by saying this. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the screen. Okay, so now there are certain examples that I have collected, okay, from various sources, and this is also certain observations which we can make. For example, there's a topic. Okay, now there is a topic on Weber's Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism. Now that's a very, very beautiful topic. Okay, let me just come back to you and explain a few things first, and then, like for example, when I tell you that a particular topic of the syllabus, like which is Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism, it is a theory by Max Weber. This topic, what does it say? It talks about that the religion also plays an important factor in development. All right, now when we are talking about this religion playing an important factor on the development, okay, now Max Weber talks about that the Christianism, when it was divided into two parts, Protestant and the Catholics. Protestant, now I'll not go into depth in today's class because these things we'll learn in future classes, okay, in great details. So Protestants, what they used to do, they used to believe in like this worldly phenomena. Okay, they believed in hard work, and they believed in getting success in this life itself. All right, and that is why the Protestant ethics will develop what? A spirit of capitalism. मतलब जहाँ भी Protestant ethics follow करेंगे लोग, Protestant mode of Christianism follow करे लोग, so वहाँ पे capitalism rise होगा. And that is where we have certain live examples. For example, you can see here that according to sociologists, they have already highlighted, okay, that many of the North European countries, okay, they are all Protestant countries like Germany, France, Britain. And if you see the industrial revolution which took place, if you see the colonialism, okay, the colonies that were being ruled, okay, throughout the world was mainly by British, by French, by Germans, right, Portugals. Now they are all North and Western European countries. Okay, but if you talk about the South European countries like Italy, Spain, Greece, okay, now these countries are not very well to do with in terms of development, in terms of capitalism, in terms of industrial development. Why? Because they are Catholics, not Protestant. Now this is an example of the syllabus. Okay, now this is how even I will be teaching you, and this is how if you are getting a topic of Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism, now see, this might look very simple. Okay, but when you are writing under pressure in the exam, the right examples, if it doesn't get clicked in your examination type, then it will be a very bad thing for you, because you might not get good marks. Okay, that is where I will help you. I'll be there relate the current affairs, how to give real life examples, and that will justify your points in a more convincing way. Okay, for example, second example I want to teach you. I think you all are with me, right? Can I just get a yes in the comment section? How many of you are with me? How many of you are understanding that whatever I'm trying to tell you? Can I just see a yes in the comment section? Okay, then only I'll go with, because the second example is very good. Okay, I will show it to you with directly by showing you the newspaper article. Okay, so can I just get some answers from all of you, that if you are with me, just write yes in the comment section. Yeah, just write yes if you're with me. That means you're understanding whatever I'm saying, because it is a very challenging task to take online classes, because I do not see you face to face, and we cannot otherwise what happens in a normal physical classroom is that I can find it out from by looking at a faces of the students, whether they're understanding the things or not. Okay, I got some replies, thank you for that. Okay, so you all are with me, so definitely let's now move ahead. So in the next, the screen is shared, right? Yeah, okay, thank you everyone. So I was talking about the second example. For example, in the syllabus, there is a topic of Robert Merton. Okay, now Robert Merton is a very important thinker of the syllabus, and we'll definitely understand it. Now, in that, okay, sorry, the spelling is wrong. Okay, it's a comparative study, the comparative reference group theory. Now, this is a very मतलब हर साल एक क्वेश्चन रेफरेंस ग्रुप थ्योरी से क्वेश्चन आ ही जाता है. Okay, now this reference group theory. Okay, for example, this is a topic. Now I think you understand by the words itself what can be the reference group theory. For example, you being a student, okay, the officers can be a reference group for you. Okay, in a society we always try to compare us with someone else, and we always try to become like that person. We always try to develop the characteristics in a similar manner as per that person. All right, for example, when we see an IS officer, we also want to become like that officer. Now, though that club of IS officers will be what? A reference group for us. Now, that's a very simple topic. Now you tell me, did you find it any difficulty in understanding this topic? I think it will be a no from your side, because these are not difficult topics. This is sociology, is not rocket science. It's very simple to understand. Okay, so when you relate yourself with the officers who are already in IS, IPS cadres, services, and you relate to them, you want to become like that, so they become a reference group for you. Okay, so similarly, now suppose a question comes on reference group theory. Now let me show you a news, okay, which was in news recently. Now there was this news, you can see this. Can you see this news? Stay away from affluent people to keep your sanity intact. Okay, now this is a news which was recently there in the newspaper. Okay, now this is how I will teach you. This is how. Now if you can write these certain examples in your answers, definitely your answer will be different from others. You'll not end up writing those same stereotypical answers, right? And your answer will be very dynamic, very multidimensional, citing examples from current affairs, but it has to be relevant, definitely. Now this was an article G News. Okay, you all know about G News, and this was a research work done by G News, and this was very it was very famous, and this news came out. It was even broadcasted in the news channels. And now this report, what it highlights is that it's a very simple one, that if you are staying away from affluent people, okay, this report talks about that you need to stay away from affluent people to keep your sanity intact. Now what do you mean by sanity? It means like your thought process. Okay, so this article is trying to depict or try to highlight that if you are staying with a lot of rich people, okay, suppose you are middle class and you are staying with upper class people, suppose you are lower class and you are staying with upper class people, okay, you will not be able to have a peace of mind. Okay, now that group is a reference group for you. Okay, because that will always try to develop you like a peace. It will always try to take away the peace of your mind from you, because you'll be always feeling, or you'll be always getting a feeling of insecurity. Now I think many of us, because we belong from the same society, I think many of us have already gone through this, right? How many of you have gone through this experience? Can you tell me, like, when you see a very rich like a friend, it can be a friend of yours, or it can be like a, or maybe a relative member, you feel insecure. Okay, you feel a bit of insecurity in you, that like your lifestyle and looking at the other person's lifestyle. Okay, you see a bit of, you feel a bit of insecurity inside you. Okay, I think I have, everyone have gone through this kind of situation. Now this is what Robert Merton talks about. Okay, and because the richer group is like the reference group for you, and this article is also highlighting that same fact. Now just writing G News India and trying to mention this report will fetch you 2 marks extra in your answer. Okay, or maybe just highlight one or two. This assistant professor of sociology, you can see this, it's there in the news article. Okay, in this university in Tennessee in US. Okay, Legion Sung. Okay, he compared people from China and US. Now if you can just highlight this report in 2 lines, definitely trust me, you can get 2 marks. That is why people, when they complain that they don't get marks, they don't write those things. They don't write these things. They will write the same things which are given in IGNO, which are given in some random guidebooks which are available in Pan Bazaar or in some websites. Okay, you cannot do that simply. Okay, you need to bring in the dynamic aspects, the contemporary aspects, and this is how very beautifully, just by comparing the people of China and US. Okay, there is this example of Robert K. Merton, and I hope by now you have understood. Okay, by now you have understood that what we are trying to mean. All right, what we are trying to mean. I think everything is going right. All right. Okay. Okay. So by now I am very much sure that you have understood when I try to say that you need to cite examples in your answers. Okay. Now examples like this kind of reports you can highlight in your answers, then definitely it will help you fetch more marks. And I'll help you with everything. All topics will study like this. Okay. Then again, for example, you talk about example 3. Now there is a syllabus, there is a topic of class struggle. I think you are aware about this. Okay, because Karl Marx always talks about class struggle. Okay, now what is a class struggle? It's a struggle, it's a conflict between two class. Okay, it can be between the owners and the non-owners. It can be between the haves and the have-nots. We'll understand these things in details in our specific classes when we'll be discussing with these specific topics. Okay, not now. Today's class is not to explain you anything, not to give you a detailed analysis of any topic. Okay, today's class is to understand sociology as an optional subject which will help us to crack this exam. Okay, today's class is only to understand from that perspective. So you just try to understand that how Karl Marx class struggle topic, okay, and what we can highlight there as a as like as an example. Okay, I'll show you one news. For example, I think there was one news. If I can just find that news here, I think. Okay, I think that news is not here as of now, but anyways, there was a worker strike. I had mentioned it in here in Munnar tea plantation. Okay, then there were worker strike. हर जगह होता है, कहीं कहाँ नहीं होता है. Okay, trade union का strike, SBI employee strike. Okay, then Toyota cut strike, and so many strikes, worker strikes are there. Now this is itself showing class struggle of Karl Marx. Now you just tell me one thing. Suppose tomorrow you are writing a mains paper of sociology, and today suppose there is an example of class struggle. And if you just mention that in your answer, okay, if the topic is, and question on class struggle comes almost every year, almost every alternate years the question on class struggle comes. If you can just highlight that example, okay, you'll definitely get some good marks. Okay, then again, class struggle can be even between the genders. Okay, then we'll discuss those things in our specific classes. Okay, then Dalit women specifically, we can write about them. All right, so these are certain examples which I'm trying to highlight in front of you and trying to give you a particular idea, okay, how to write a different answer, and this is how you need to study sociology. It's not like line by line you'll be studying from this book, that book, okay, and at the end you will start writing answers. No, complete no. That is not the way of reading sociology. When you are reading a particular topic, you should be always be comfortable with the current affairs, with the other dimensions of that topic in a parallel manner. Okay, and that is where I will help you, because you will find it difficult in order to develop this thing in that like in a very systematic manner. All right, because it is very important to develop a systematic approach in your preparation. That is very much essential. Okay, having a timetable, following a systematic approach is very, very essential. For example, similarly, see again example 4. If we talk about Emile Durkheim, okay, Emile Durkheim is a very beautiful thinker. I love him like very much. Okay, he is one of the favorite thinker of mine, but he has failed in many of the things, but not because of that. Success and failure doesn't matter. Like the judge, you should not be judging someone on whether they are successful or failure, but the way he has developed sociology, okay, the way he has tried to justify his points, okay, and after that, in fact, Max Weber is again one of my favorite thinker. So Emile Durkheim talks about one particular concept in the syllabus, and that is about division of labor. I again see division of labor is a topic which we have been hearing since our childhood, maybe. Okay, division of labor is simple. Okay, I'm an engineer, I will do a particular specialized job. I'm an electronics engineer, I'll do that particular job. You are a doctor, you will look after the medical sciences. All right, you are an agriculturist, you will look after the farming aspect of the country. Okay, you are suppose a social worker, you will look after that perspective. So everyone's job is divided, right? So the labor is divided, and this tries to what? This tries to create a positive impact on the efficiency and the effectiveness of the output of the work. Now, this is nothing new. We all know this, okay? But when division of labor answer will come, everyone will write these definitions. What Emile Durkheim talked about division of labor, he will talk about solidarity within division of labor. No, everyone will write this. But what you will write, what CSAP students should write is, for example, I'll show you this example. Okay, there was this news. Okay, there was this news. You can see this news that Flipkart may spend $500 million to add 50 to 100 warehouses in next 5 years. Now I'll be helping you out with this news. You need not worry. Okay, you need not worry about like your news. हम कहाँ से पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है? Like whether we'll be able to do it or not. Okay, even if you're not able, you should do it by yourself. But even if you're not able to do it, I will also try to help you out. Okay, now I am taking help of this compilation. See, now there December 2020. Now all the news articles that are coming up, okay, from a sociological perspective, like slum numbers show cities don't help Dalits at caste. So these things will be right from November 19. Okay, all this, the Hindu editorials will be taking help. Okay, abortion laws around the world. Okay, now this is also like previous questions have come, okay, on this particular topics. For example, you can see here that like if I you can see that this is a syllabus topic, reproductive health and women's rights. Okay, and there is this news, abortion laws around the world. Now I hope you understand, this is the beauty of sociology. This is how you need to study sociology. Okay, not just line by line from a book. Okay, that will not help you crack this exam. Okay, you need to develop the application part more, and this will be developed more through your answer writing. Even we have the Yojana compilations. Okay, every month the Yojana magazine, whatever is important from sociological perspective, we'll try to follow it. Okay, I'll give you this in the form of reading materials. Okay, so and similarly, when I come back to the news, Flipkart may spend $500 million to add 50 to 100 warehouses in next 5 years. Now this particular news is talking nothing but division of labor. Okay, so if you can just, and this is an example of Bangalore, right? And this is a very recent one in 2017-18. This research have been done, and at the last of this news, you will see, okay, that you can see here that as part of its marketplace and fulfillment services, the e-commerce players organizes the storage facility. Sorry, okay. So just read this line. The last paragraph of this news, it suggests that the e-commerce players now organizes the storage facility. Okay, storage facilities, and that is where they are saying that they will invest this amount of money to maintain a proper storage facility. Okay, itne number of warehouses they will improve. Then sales to consumers, they will organize it separately. And the returns, okay, because return is also happening when you order something in the e-commerce. Okay, for example, I'll show it to you. I had ordered recently a book, okay, in Flipkart. Okay, I had recently ordered a book in the Flipkart. Like this is, see, you can see this is a Herlumbus Holborn, and I have another book, okay, and this is also a Herlumbus Holborn. But you can see the size of these textbooks. if you see the size of these textbooks, okay, this one is smaller than the other, the one which is behind, and this book is of a duplicate version. All right, this book is of a duplicate version. In fact, the page quality is also very poor. Now I need to return this book. Okay, so this is a return policy, and they have organized it in a separate manner. All right, and this is what, this is nothing else but division of labor, what Emile Durkheim also talks about. Now if you can just cite this example in your answer will again become very, very beautiful. And this is the, now you tell me, can't you do this simple job? Just the newspaper, the theory, obviously you need to know the theory first. Okay, you need to know the theory first, you need to know the syllabus, you need to know the type of questions that are coming. Okay, and then just you need to relate your answers with the like with the current affairs, and make it more contemporary based and more dynamic, more multidimensional, and that will definitely help you like get more marks, and definitely you'll score very good marks in your sociology answers. All right, now apart from that, for example, bureaucracy is a topic of your syllabus, and if you see the like again some questions some news. All right, now like there's a news from Live Mint, troubled times for Indian bureaucracy. You definitely need to read this particular news. Okay, now what I do is like bureaucracy, I take out the topics, and then I just search bureaucracy news articles in the Google. Okay, and then I get these news articles, and that is how you read it, and just try to assemble it in your notes making. Okay, when you're, for example, when you're reading the bureaucracy as a topic of sociology, Ashok Khemka, he is a very dear civil servant. He has been transferred 45 times in his career because of his honesty. Okay, because he is a very non-corrupted officer, and he has been transferred more than 45 times. Okay, now that is a very important sociological dimension is there included, and if there is a question, and bureaucracy is a topic of the syllabus. Okay, we all know that bureaucracy is there in the syllabus, and that is why you need to understand the syllabus in a very, very well manner. Okay, so this is how we will study topic wise in a great depth like manner. Okay, then there is again a very beautiful example I can highlight to you. It's about the social movement. Okay, social movement is again a topic of the syllabus, and there are so many news. Okay, like this is a news of the Hindu social movement to political party, and this was the Patel reservation agitation. Now you need not go to that, you can even write about the car agitation. Okay, the Citizenship Amendment Act, that it was also a social movement. All right, for the citizenship issue. Citizenship itself is a topic of paper 2 syllabus. All right, so that is how we take up examples from current affairs with the help of current affairs, and that is how we make our answers look very, very dynamic. And this is how, along with the thinkers. Okay, now again you can see there are n number of examples. I can keep on going, showing you examples and examples. Okay, recently in Arunachal Pradesh there was the issue of Chakmas and Hajongs, right? In fact, in Assam itself we have the issue of citizenship. Now citizenship is a topic of the syllabus of paper 2. Now you can definitely write these examples. Okay, and how and what is the sociological dimension. After we learn the theory, that will become more easy as in order to write the answers. Then we have we have this topic of sacred and profane in religion. In fact, Emile Durkheim talks about this. Okay, now when we see a particular news, okay, there is a lot of news coming out, there are a lot of issues coming out with cow politics. You must be aware about it, right? So the cow has become sacred and politics has become profane. Okay, now this is a very, very beautiful example that you can highlight if the question is coming on sacred and profane theory of Emile Durkheim on religion. Okay, so this is a very good article. In fact, you can all read this article. Okay, this is a beautiful article, and this is how we can highlight examples and cite examples in your answers, and which will definitely help us secure more marks. Okay, now let me directly go into like some of the past. Now this is what I have been telling you, right? That you need to do this, you need to do that. But why do you believe me? Okay, why you need to believe me? All right, okay, Vishal has put a question there, that he has a question. You can go ahead and directly ask the question, Vishal. Okay, so I just want to ask you that why you need to believe me when I tell you that this is the way you need to do sociology. Because this is being evident. Okay, this is being evident. If we find out the type of questions that are being asked in the exam, okay, forgetting the direct questions. For example, if you are being asked to write on the historical materialism or the dialectics of Karl Marx, now that is a very easy question. Okay, but even there we will try to infuse some current affairs points to make it more dynamic. All right. So if it is a very straightforward question, definitely you can write the answer, everyone will write. But there are questions coming which are not directly straightforward, which are coming from the like your current affairs perspective. Okay, for example, we have many examples. Let me just show it to you again. Okay, for example, there was this question on this was the question: media is a fourth pillar of democracy, discuss. Okay, this is a very simple and straightforward question, like that media is a fourth pillar of democracy, discussed. Now this question will definitely demand a sociological analysis, and how media, okay, how media can be the fourth pillar of democracy, but from a sociological angle. And because this is a question of sociological optioning, this is a very easy one. Okay, now these are there in the syllabus. Okay, but how to make it the answer, how to make it sociological? Now that is where the syllabus again comes to rescue, because syllabus itself is discussing the different sociological issues, the dimensions. It is there in the syllabus. Okay, so you need to write those things from media's perspective and throw the answer. That is it. Okay, that is it. And I will help you out in writing answers and everything. Now this is where you know examples of mob lynching, okay, the social media and violence, cyber. In fact, social media is also part of the media now. Okay, there is a lot of angles of, in fact, online molestations. Okay, cyber bullies are happening. Okay, like youths are facing a lot of problems. So these are what, these are also certain sociological dimensions are coming in, and these are certain things, like in fact the recent one, you see, like when we discuss, more and more points keeps on coming out. So recent example, if I try to highlight in front of you, is we can talk about the privacy issues of WhatsApp, the fight between the government and the WhatsApp, okay, about the privacy policy issues. And the right to privacy is also a sociological dimension. Okay, now there are also certain thinkers, some thinkers who talks about these things. So we bring those thinkers, we bring this example, and then we ultimately address the question, and this is how we write the answer in sociology. If you can do this minimum thing, trust me, you will get a very good marks in sociology as an optional, because the syllabus is very less. You need to read a very less amount of like you need to have a very less amount of information. But as I told you, the more focus, the 70% has to be given on the answer writing, and that is where your application part will come out. Okay, because today, suppose if you write this answer on media as a fourth pillar of democracy, you might write a answer today, and but your answer might be different when you write after 4 months, because you'll get more examples. Your sociological thinking perspective will broaden up more in next 4 months, because you'll read more. Okay, so that is the beauty of sociology. Again, you are never the same person. Okay, once you read a sociology, you will definitely change for the betterment. All right, so there were again questions on examine the sociological dynamics of Champaran peasant movement in colonial India. Now this question will shock you. Okay, this question, because this question, I think it came in 18 or 19, and those were the years of 100 years of Mahatma Gandhi's Satyagraha, Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, we know this information from a modern history. So that is a beauty. Again, 100 years it was in news. Okay, and I'll show you the news again. Like if you can see this article. You see this article? Okay, this is an article on, you can see April 10, 2018. Okay, Champaran Satyagraha, how India's first civil disobedience movement began. Now, in fact, a prelims question can also come. Which was the first civil disobedience movement of India? Options are Champaran, okay, Kheda, then Ahmedabad mill strike, or Rowlatt Act Satyagraha, okay, whatever it is, or non-cooperation movement. So you might get confused. So you should know that Champaran was the first civil disobedience movement, okay, before it was finally launched in 1932 in the form of civil disobedience movement. So you see here that this was an article in various newspapers in 2018, and in 2018 mains the question came on Champaran Satyagraha, and this article also highlights the sociological dimensions. Okay, now I'm not going into details of the article, you can read it on your own, but obviously when I will be taking the classes, we'll go into details also and see the question that came, like was on your on 2018 mains, was about the sociological dynamics of this peasant movement. Okay, so you see that how current affairs is also triggering the questions in the exam. All right. Then there is a question on discuss, for example, the issues relating to the entitlement of transgender in Indian society. Now, this is a very hot burning topic, right? For example, they have asked you to talk about the transgenders, and I think whether I have found taken some news or not, I don't know. Yes, yes. See this news. I found this news. This was also 2018, and 2018 only this question came. Read the question again. Read the question again. Discuss the issues relating to the entitlement of transgender in Indian society. This is a very specific question. Okay. Now see, questions are coming from dynamic, but in APSC the questions may be more static. This is a UPSC question. Okay, APSC questions are more static. I'll teach you the static. That will be very easy. Okay, but along with that, since the pattern has changed, APSC will also ask you dynamic questions, at least 30%. Okay, now here they are asking you about the issues relating NC. That year itself there were discussions on issues of transgenders rights, and you can see this news again of Indian Express. Okay, the Supreme Court steps in as transgenders face trouble with Aadhaar PAN linking. All right, so this is an issue that they have been facing. Okay, and that particular year there were various articles on transgenders about their issues and everything, and that is why you can see that the question also came. Then this is a past year question paper. Okay, this is not what I am trying to tell you. Okay, this is what is evident in front of you. Even if you go to UPSC website, download sociology mains paper from 2018 here, you'll find this question there. Okay, so the role of current affairs is what is directly linked with the syllabus. Okay, there were even a question on Me Too revolution movement in 2018 year itself. Okay, and 2018 Me Too also was asked because that particular year the news were there about the Me Too revolution. Okay, now we'll understand these topics in detailed manner later on, not today. Okay, like how to go ahead. Again, we have to interrelate with thinkers and social and also with the different parts of the syllabus. All right, so we'll go into those things in a later class, not right now as of now. But again, coming back to the discussion that where we were like okay, I think I had not shared the screen. I think I forgot to share the screen, but I think you overall understood, right? You understood what I was trying to say. Okay, so what I was trying to say is that now at the present context, sociology is a very easy subject provided you are comfortable in citing examples. Now when I try to mean like you have to cite examples, it is not only that you have to be dependent on me only. Okay, if you read something, if you can relate that with the syllabus of the subject, you definitely can add it as a point in your optional answer writing, like when you do the answer writing practice. Okay, so okay, it was shared. Okay, so let us now, I hope you have very beautifully understood and maybe I have been able to justify your 2 hours time by addressing the various forms of the subject. Okay, but what about the syllabus? Okay, now today, like before we start with the next class, okay, next class will be probably not probably, it will be day after tomorrow. Okay, we'll have alternate days classes. It will be day after tomorrow, that is like whatever. I think today is I forgot, today is Wednesday. Yes, sorry. Like next class will be on Friday. Okay, and we'll be directly starting with like learning the topics. So before doing that, I'm giving you 1 day time. Okay, I'm giving you 1 day time to learn the syllabus. Okay, please learn the syllabus and go through some of the past year questions. Okay, that is very, very important. Please go through some of the past year questions and learn the syllabus in a very depth manner. You understand, you type each and every word of the syllabus in Google. Okay, and try to find out the deep meaning of the syllabus, the words. Okay, and while you will be doing that, even we'll be talking about like the syllabus in brief. In just 5 minutes, I'll cover the syllabus. Okay, because like we still have 10 minutes or so left with today's session, and let me help you out with the syllabus once. That is very, very important, and I'll also tell you like what will be the approach. I think by now you have already understood, okay, like what will be our approach of learning. Okay, and I'll be also sharing the study materials, and along with that, like we will be also talking about like what are the what will be the like taking admission taking procedure and everything. Okay, so coming to the syllabus quickly, let me just take out the syllabus. Okay, I got it. I had just downloaded it before this session. Like I normally I have the printouts and everything, but as it is not very easy and feasible to show it to you in the online mode, in the printout mode, so let me just share the screen again and let us go to the syllabus quickly. So you can see here that this is the syllabus of UPSC syllabus, and the first 3 topics, okay, talks about the discipline of the subject. Okay, you can, and these topics are very important. We'll understand like how modernity and social changes in Europe, okay, how social changes in Europe gave rise to emergence of social. And this is a common question, almost every year it comes, and I will also give you the answers of these questions. And what is the scope of the subject? Okay, sociology as a subject, what scope it has, what does it study, and how it evolves out when we compare sociology with other sciences, okay, other subjects. Then sociology and common sense, because many of us might think that we studying society under sociology, we know what is society, that is common sense, right? No, it is not. Sociology is completely different from what it is common, and that is what initial part of the discussion when I told you that we need to unlearn sociology before we start learning sociology. And that is what I try to mean, is that we need to ignore the common sense that we have, or the stereotypes that we, or the prejudices that we have in a society, being a member of a society. We need to unlearn those, and we need to learn the theories and the concepts what the thinkers talk about on any particular topic, may it be marriage, may it be social stratification, maybe the caste system, or whatever it is. All right, then the second chapter is very again beautiful. It talks about the sociology as science, and this is again a very interesting chapter, the chapter 2 and chapter 3, and we are starting with these 2 chapters only initially. Okay, chapter 2 and chapter 3 will start with research methods and analysis from day after tomorrow. And this is one of the most important, because this chapter, when you study, you will understand the sociology about its perspectives. Okay, then only we'll come back to the thinkers and chapter 1 and chapter 2, then we'll go one by one in the chapters. Okay, so chapter 2 talks about like whether sociology is a science or not. Okay, that because you know, like when sociology was developed as a distinct discipline, many of the thinkers were questioned, like because they were using the methodology of science, they were using empirical evidences. Okay, because that time the science, the weightage of science was very high, because the world has gone through the scientific revolution, and that paved the way to the commercial revolution, and finally industrial revolution, it happened. Okay, and because of the scientific revolution, so many new concepts were invented, so many new, and which made the lifestyles easier for a lot of people. It addressed many questions which could not have been answered for so many years, thousands of years. Okay, so people had an influence from science directly in their mind, and that is why all the subjects were trying to use the methodologies of science in creating the subjects as a new discipline. And that is what also was being done by sociological founders, the founders of sociology, and that is what we need to study. And definitely some questions will come from this subject. Okay, then we'll talk about the research methods and analysis, and this is a very beautiful topic, because in sociology, whenever you go and try to learn it, you definitely go and do the research, right? So you need to understand from all the dimensions what are the things. Then comes the actual chapter, which is like the most important one, and it is about the sociological thinkers. Okay, so we have thinkers like Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, and we'll understand them in great details. Do not worry, trust me, you will enjoy this part like anything. Okay, because in fact my strength is the thinkers. Okay, I am very good at the thinkers, and I have read a lot of like a lot of books on them, a lot of articles on them. And the thinkers, if anyone is strong in this part, that is chapter 4, your sociology can be looked after very easily. Okay, because you have to understand the thinkers in order to understand anything else. Why? Because for example, if Karl Marx is talking about class struggle here, in chapter 5 we'll see stratification and mobility, right? Now, stratification is also what there is also a conflict perspective, and you have to know what Karl Marx talks about stratification. Okay, concepts of equality and inequality. You can see this inequality is a conflict perspective. Okay, so what Karl Marx talks on inequality, you have to know, understand Karl Marx first, and then you have to understand inequality under stratification. All right, so similarly, so all the thinkers are related, all their theories are related to the other subjects, other topics of the syllabus. Okay, so chapter 5 talk about stratification and mobility. It's a very beautiful chapter, we'll deal with it in great details. Then work and economic life. Now I'll tell you one thing, that this chapter 6 is being ignored by many students, but please do not ignore, will not ignore, will complete this chapter. And in this chapter it will be like because nowadays many questions are also coming from this chapter also, we'll understand this in a very detailed manner. Then politics is there in the syllabus. Okay, it talks about citizenship, democracy, nation state theory, sociological theories of power. Then Max Weber is talking about the theories of power. Okay, so we need to learn those theories. Then obviously chapter 8 is on religion and society, and chapter 9 is on your systems of kinship. Here we study family, marriage, okay, lineage system, patriarchy, sexual division of labor, and everything. Okay, so that is what again I'm trying to tell you, that the correlation between different topics of the syllabus, or between different papers of the syllabus, paper 1 and paper 2, or between papers and the current affairs. Okay, for example, here if I tell you, like, there is a topic of sexual division of labor, okay, based on gender. Now that is where we can even bring in Emile Durkheim. Okay, it doesn't mean that the question is coming from chapter 9, so we do not need to write chapter 4 here. Okay, that is not the thing, and that is a mistake being done by many candidates. Okay, so we need to correlate everything and write a very matured and beautiful answer, making it very dynamic and a multi-dimensional perspective. All right, so that is what we need to learn again, and we will do it definitely in the subsequent classes. And last chapter of paper 1 is the social changes. Okay, now we know that the education have been improved, science and technology have been improved, but because of this there are a lot of social changes happening in the society. Okay, now this is what we need to study about the different forms and impacts on the social change that different societies have gone through in different time periods of the society. Okay, so this is what the beautiful syllabus, and this is a very short syllabus, do not worry. Okay, we can, in fact, if we take a regular day class, maybe we can complete it within 1 to 1.5 months at max, the entire syllabus. Okay, so do not worry about anything. In 2 months time period we'll complete paper 1, and then next 1.5 time period approximately will complete paper 2, and then our support will be always there with you in answer writing forms till you give your means. And not only that, in fact, whenever the new current affairs will be coming up, okay, I'll be taking special classes. In fact, even after 4 months, still your means is there, and trying to highlight those current affairs with which topic, and you will be keep on appending your notes, okay, adding those new pointers in your answers, and that will how it will enrich your answers in a very, very good manner. Okay, so definitely it is going to help you out in a great depth. Then comes your paper 2, that is talking about Indian society. Okay, and it talks about structure and change, and this is a very beautiful topic, syllabus or beautiful syllabus of paper 2. It talks about the Indian society. Okay, initially the perspectives of study, the different thinkers of Indian society will come, like G.S. Khore, M.N. Srinivas, A.R. Desai. We'll talk about them in great details. Okay, now then what was the impact of colonial rule on Indian society? That is again a very important topic. Now, what is the social structure of the Indian society? The rural, the agrarian. Okay, then what is the caste system? What are the different thinkers' opinion on caste system? We can even write Karl Marx on caste system. Okay, then tribal communities in India. We have to understand the issues of the tribes. Then social classes in India. All right, the agrarian, industrial, and middle class in India. Then systems of kinship. Okay, the different forms of marriage, the different forms of family. Okay, and the new forms of evaluation of family. Okay, for example, I think I just went through a news. Okay, I'll just show it to you. What's a real story on marriage and family trends? The Daily Signal writes on it. Okay, it's an article from 2015. There are 11 findings. So this is a very recent trend, because see, if there is certain changes in the trend of marriage and family, it will not happen in 1 or 2 years. It might take 50 years of time period, or it might take 2 decades. It might take 3 decades. So 5-6 years back, like the article was written 5-6 years back. So obviously it's writing on the recent trend, and it is writing on, you can see, like about 11 trends. Okay, and this kind of articles are very important to read, and I'll be sharing all these articles. I'll be even teaching you through the help of these articles. Like when I'll be teaching you marriage, I'll definitely come and take a reference reference of this article, and that will help your content development a very dynamic one. Okay, and that is what we do not only in sociology but also in obviously in the GS answers, because anyone from our GS batches, they will also know that always my approach, my individual approach is always this: how to make your answer different, how to make it your answer multidimensional, and so that you can portray a very beautiful answer from a different perspective altogether, and you will definitely get 2 marks extra as compared to the others who are writing an average answers. Okay, then again, like same, religion and society is there. Again, social changes. Okay, under social changes, this is the third part. It talks about various visions of social change in India. Okay, like planning, constitution, law, education, and social change. So these things also we'll study from India's perspective. Okay, then again, the rural and agrarian transformation. These are very easy topics. Okay, not very like rocket science for you. We'll just understand, try to understand the thinkers and the changes and the syllabus. Okay, and linking up with what? Linking up with the current affairs. Okay, for example, there's a topic of green revolution and social change. Can you see it? For example, there's a topic of green revolution and social change. Okay, so for example, when we are discussing about green revolution and social change, okay, so for example, there's a question coming in the exam that asks you to write about green revolution. Okay, and the sociological impact, for example. Now what will you write there? Okay, if they're asking you to write example on like the impact of green revolution, the sociological impact of green revolution. Okay, so what will you write there? Can you just give me an answer? Anyone in the comment box? Can you give me the answer, the sociological impact of green revolution? Anyone wants to add up at last? Okay, so okay, I will not wait till the answers. Like, see, again, if it is talking about green revolution, we can definitely write about like green revolution and impact specifically on women, green revolution and impact on the land. Okay, green revolution and impact on the working labor force participation ratio of maybe specifically of women again. Okay, so these are what social angles of green revolution. So this also we can think. Then green revolution, rise of middle class. Yes, no, because green revolution will, again, green revolution will promote what? Inequality in the society. Some will become more rich, some states will become more rich, some states will become more poor. Now this is what we study in GS. But see, we are trying to relate with again syllabus. Inequality is there in the syllabus, right? Women is there in the syllabus. We know land is there in the syllabus. Social change, okay, policies, land, because green revolution is a policy which will impact our social change in the in the outcomes. Okay, so this is how we need to interrelate the syllabus as well as the topics, and along with imposed by the current affairs examples. Okay, so this is how beautifully we try to study the like your sociology. Okay, so apart from that, again, there are certain topics like population dynamics, okay, where we study the population size, and these are very easy topics. Then there is a topic of social movements in modern India. Okay, it talks about peasants, farmers, women's movement, Dalit movement, environmental movement, ethnicity and identity movements. Okay, then politics and society. These are certain like the topics of the syllabus which we have gone through, and it's I think you by now you have already come to know that this subject is not that difficult. Okay, provided we take up in a very exam oriented manner. Okay, we will definitely do good, we can do good, provided two things that needs to be like that is expected from your side is that you need to fall in love with this subject, and secondly, you have to do a lot of answer writing practice with me. Okay, I'll specifically look after it. I'll be giving questions after every class. That will be the minimum things like of our classroom program. Okay, whether it is in the online mode or whether it is in the offline mode. And along with that, as you have already as you have already seen that we'll be discussing the past year questions. Okay, along with the topics, we'll be discussing the current affairs along with the topics, whatever it is, whatever topic we're discussing. Parallelly, we'll go through. Now, see, sometimes it might happen that we are studying Karl Marx, and Karl Marx के ऊपर मैंने आपको 5 न्यूज ही बताया, ठीक है, लेकिन उसके बाद और भी 10 न्यूज आ सकते हैं. Okay, so it's not like that Karl Marx आज पढ़ा है तो आज ही खत्म हो गया. Maybe later on I might take a special class on Karl Marx and to give those extra points again, like to add up those points. Okay, so that is also what I will do definitely. Apart from that, as you've already seen that we'll be discussing the current affairs through the my special, and also along with that some of the my own personal notes are there, like which if I show it to you, like I'll be sharing these things to the ones who will be taking the admission. Okay, and you can see here like these are certain topics notes that I have, like we have hit here, and you'll also get these notes. Okay, and chapter wise, topic wise, we have this notes. Okay, and I'll be taking help of these notes while teaching you, and you'll also read from this. And now coming back to the sources. Okay, like okay, I forgot to share the window again. If I share it to you once again, like just to show you like some of the things that I'll be giving you now. These are certain kind of notes topic wise. You can see here this is sociology discipline, this Immanuel Durkheim. Okay, we have these are all taken from the books, standard books and everywhere. Okay, so we will talk about Immanuel Durkheim, then we'll talk about Max Weber. Okay, individual notes are also there, and this is a long list. Okay, this is a long list. We have the notes of all these things, and at the same time under Max Weber we have the questions. Okay, what came in the previous years. We have the current affairs. Okay, like what is this news can be, see, compassion and honesty. Okay, now can you tell me, like this is again, see, the main bricks to use in India's steel frame. And what is India's steel frame? Bureaucracy. Okay, and just few minutes back I had showed you this article. Okay, I had showed you this article. Let me just check once more. Trouble times for Indian bureaucracy, right? Now this is again talking about the honesty, Ashok Khemka's example. And then we have another article, the compassion and honesty are what must guide successful entrance into still fiercely competitive civil servants. Okay, so this other type of things, like when we are studying Max Weber, under this we'll also look at some of the current affairs. Okay, like what we can use and like relate, okay, with the topics of the syllabus. Now this is how we will club it together and make it very, very dynamic when we'll be talking about sociology. Now apart from this, I have already discussed with you the syllabus in details. Along with that, we have seen our approach of study. Along with that, we have also discussed about your the past year questions, the interlinkage of the current affairs with the syllabus. But these are the basic few things that you need to know, like, and this is like how we will study in sociology as an optional subject. Now apart from that, if I just come to the last topic, is about the notes, right, or the sources that we need to have when we are preparing for sociology as an optional. Now, like, first of all, see, I have my own personal notes that I'll be sharing with all of you. Those will be like taking admissions and joining the batch. I'll be sharing obviously all the notes and everything. Then we have to read the NCERTs. Okay, that is something I'll expect from you, that you read it on your own. And then what I will do is, like, see, I will specifically highlight the pages. Okay, I'll specifically highlight the pages of the NCERTs and which page is important from which thinker's perspective or the syllabus perspective. Okay, so you won't believe me, for example, if I can show you this document. Okay, so here I already have this. Okay, let me just share the screen. I guess it is not shared. Yeah. So if you see this example, okay, we have the page numbers along with, like, page number 39 of this book. Okay, that is, it talks about the class 12 NCERT, and it is dealing with industrialization, urbanization in India. So how beautifully I will help you. Like, for example, when we are reading a particular topic of the syllabus, we'll also go back to the, for example, Green Revolution and social change. Okay, it is there in the page 62. Okay, so we'll also go back and read that page. Okay, now this will be homeworks for all of you. Like, when we are, for example, studying a particular topic, I'll ask you to go and read these pages. Okay, so that you can gather some more information and relate it well. All right, so this will also be the approach of the NCERTs. Okay, then I have my personal notes, and along with that, the very, very important source will be, like, I have already the downloaded PDFs of the relevant chapters of IGNOU materials. Okay, whatever there. Now IGNOU is a very huge like material resource, right? But you don't need to read everything from there. So whatever specific you need to read on it, I will be sharing the PDFs on a daily basis along with the classes. Okay, and you will give a thorough reading on that. So IGNOU will be there. Along with it, you can buy this book, Harlambus and Holborn. This is a very, very important one. And along with this, you should buy the book written by George Ridger. Okay, this is the sociological theory written by George Ridger. This is also a very, very important one. Because these two particular sources I'll be following almost in every class. Okay, you need, and then you need to have a very good newspaper reading habit. Okay, at least the Hindu or the Indian Express. No substitution to this. There can be no alternative to this. Okay, you should definitely read your newspapers like the Hindu and the Indian Express. Okay, in fact, I'll be also sharing the news, but you should also develop a good habit of reading a newspaper. Okay, along with it, we'll be also thoroughly looking at the past year questions. I'll be giving you practice question answer writing sessions. We'll be doing on a regular basis. Okay, then as I already showed it to you, I will be also going through the toppers answer sheets. Okay, that will give us a high that will give throw some like light on how to write an answer, a very beautiful matured answer, and then you will try to relate. You will obviously come to know that whatever I have talked about in the last 2 years of time, like in this duration, you will see those points getting highlighted in the toppers answers too. All right, now apart from this, there are also certain other like books that you have to like follow, but at this time, as of now, you don't need to buy so many books as of now. Okay, you can you can very well be like consider this fact that our notes will be sufficient enough. Okay, the amount of notes I'll be giving you on a daily basis will be more than sufficient. Okay, now apart from that, your more focus should be on answer writing, but you can buy a book. I don't have that book with me right now. It's there in my office. It's written by B.K. Nagla. Okay, and that is a good book on paper 2, Indian sociology. Okay, so you can okay, so you can purchase it like the study materials from institute in the hard copy format also. But apart from that, since this will be an online batch, you'll get all the notes in the PDF format. Okay, so as you all know that we are launching this course, and the course fees is 10,000 rupees, that is 9,999, and you can all, yeah, the last date will be through like the before the 5th free class. Those will be interested, you'll already come to know I have tried to give you a very good analysis of the subject, like about from the exam perspective, obviously not from like from some research perspective. So you all can like those who are interested obviously can get enrolled to the course. And apart from that, even if you don't get enrolled, if you need some help from me, I'm always ready to help all of you. But if you get enrolled to this course, what will be the benefits? Let me tell you. You will be under a proper systematic guidance. Okay, your answers can be evaluated, which is very, very important. You will be getting a proper schedule of like covering topic wise subjects, like the topic wise syllabus. Okay, along with that, the discussion and the most important part will be the citing of the examples and the taking help of the current affairs. Okay, now these things require a lot of effort and time. If you are going to do it by your own, it will take a lot of time of yours, like in the preparation, which might get compromised in your GS preparation. So these things will definitely help you out. And apart from that, the best part will be the understanding. Okay, because whenever you read sociology, suppose you read a chapter today and you read it 10 times again. Okay, in the 10th time also you will find something new, some new analysis, and that is what you will get it one go when I'll be like telling you the things from all the perspectives. Okay, so these benefits will be definitely there, and within a short time you can very well have a very strong like confidence in the optional subjects, and you can secure it even before the prelims. Okay, and that is why it is the right time to study the optional subject even before the prelims if you want to crack it in this attempt itself. Okay, so those who wants to get enrolled, definitely I think there in the description there is a phone number given, and you can all get back to our office staff to get enrolled. And apart from that, I think I have a few more questions. From Ankur Jain. So reading only class notes and the faculty notes won't be enough for APSC. Do you need to read our as well mentioned? Yes, Ankur, I think I already answered your question. You need to go through IGNO study materials. Okay, you need to go through NCRTs. You need to go through magazines like Yojana and EPW. That also I'll be sharing. Okay, with every one of you, and those things will definitely suffice. But more thing that you need to focus is on the answer writing. All right. Ankur Jain, finance movement, upliftment, casteism. Yes, these are the topics I think you related with Green Revolution. Very good. Gargi Bora, inequality between the poor and affluent farmers. Yes, definitely. Who could actually benefit from Green Revolution? That is a very right point. We can write that. Very good, Gargi. Then we have Kunjun Jamma. Okay, you are saying that you have a doubt. You can go ahead and ask me your doubt, Kunjun Jamma. Like, yeah, Gargi, like in between, my microphone was muted, but again I had unmuted it. I think now it is okay. All right. So I think we have almost come to an end of today's session. I hope you liked it and like you got certain ideas about the subject. If you have any specific doubt, you can always post it in the comment section. You can write to us in the like in our WhatsApps and everywhere, and we'll definitely get back to you. And if you have certain specific questions, you can write in this comment section thread itself. We'll take these questions in the next session that will be on Friday, same time at 5 o'clock. I hope to see you again, and please give the feedbacks also. Okay, do write it here in the comment section if you think that you are benefited by this session, because the next 4 sessions will be also free of cost, and I want to make it very productive and very effective for all of you. Okay, so do try to give your feedbacks if you want to hear from me from on particular specific topic, and please do write like how did you feel about today's session of 2 hours. Almost, it's more than 2 hours. Okay, so do write about it. If you liked it, do write about it. If you didn't like it, even you can you can give us some critical feedbacks, like where we need to improve and what you were expecting from us, and if you need something else or other kind of information. Okay, and if you need some sessions on other topics, maybe from GS, answer writing, essay, and newspaper and everything, you can always get back and you can write to us. All right, so I think I'll call it for the day. I have almost come to an end to whatever I had to discuss with you for today. But if I have left anything, I'll definitely come with those topics in the next sessions, as we have 4 more sessions to go, and then we'll continue with the paid students. And from tomorrow itself, we are starting with the classes. Tomorrow will be the first class with the first topic. Okay, so we are going ahead with it like from tomorrow. And I hope you all come out successful in your exam, and my best wishes. And from civil service achievers point, we are always there for you. So I think that is it. Okay, some of you are thanking me. It's always my pleasure. And thank you, Trishna. Thank you, Anushmita, Ankur, Ujjwal. Okay, so I think I will call it off for today. Okay, thank you, everyone. Keep studying hard. Okay, and please stay motivated. Okay, during this, I know this is a very crisis situation, and everyone is going through a crisis. You need to stay safe. You need to take care of your health, and you need to take care of your family members also. Please do keep on following the guidelines of safety measures, SOPs of safety measures during this pandemic time, and hope to meet you all soon. Okay, and see you all come out successful. Thank you and good night.